everyone. So you wouldn't believe it, we're actually here on Cambridge, Hall Barn Road, and as you can see and probably hear behind me, we've finally got construction happening. We're finally here, broken ground. I'm actually stood at the minute on a set out plot, which next week the foundations are going to be poured for. At the minute what you see going in behind me is our foul drainage. So what has happened so far? We've stripped the entire site. Topsoil's been taken by a farmer just across the road, so he's happy, I'm happy. The road has been set out. The SUDS system, which is what caused part of our issue at planning, is all in. All the connections into the road are done, manholes are in. So what we have here to the right of me is the foul system going in. So the surface water that just dissipates into the ground via the SUDS system. But obviously foul, that is contaminated water, that's your runoff from the houses, the used water. So that has to discharge into the main system here. So it's coming down here into a pumping station. We've got an inspection chamber. That's what you see going in there. Pumping station will be at the end of site there to pump all of the foul into the main system. Typically nowadays, most water authorities don't like you discharging your surface water into the main system. They like it managed and maintained on site, which some sites really struggle with depending on their ground condition. We're really lucky here, super porous ground, absolutely no issue, apart from the location of it caused the issue, but the actual technicality of it draining isn't a problem, but it has caused a lot of developers issues, the whole SUDS sustainable drainage systems hierarchy that a lot of councils have. But yeah, foul always pretty much is going to be discharged unless you're on something like septic tanks. Rural sites might have septic tanks, but we're into the mains here, and that's what you see going in, or they're partway through finishing that work now. I think pretty much all the drainage will be finished by end of next week, which is, yeah, super exciting. So obviously we've just been out on site in terms of where everything is situated. Obviously road is, I say it's marked. The foul drainage channel that you see is in this footpath here. It's not under the road, it's in the footpath. And then it turns up here, kind of where these trees are indicated. And then in this back corner was what we see as the pumping station. And then we're going to be going along here and discharging over in that corner. 14 is going to be the show, well, we're going to have 13 and 14 delivered at a similar time. We'll then decide between Tyler and I which we want as a show home, because they are two different house types. Intention is to build, I believe, these ones first, then the affordable, the back four, this last four would be finished kind of in blocks. But I've given the contractor somewhat authority, as long as I get show home as quick as possible, I've kind of given him authority to phase it as he pleases, because it's not really a kind of site where we can have people occupying whilst construction's ongoing anyway, so it kind of all has to be mostly handed over for us to sell or complete on a sale. So to recap, it's probably been a while since my last update on this site. We purchased this site in December 21, was it? 21? December 21? November 21. Like I say, we purchased it with outline planning, thinking it'd be nice and simple. Famous last words. We had a 3-year planning, 2.5-year planning battle, in essence. We did a Section 73 amendments planning, in which we, as I mentioned, added 8,000 square foot to the overall square footage on the site, which is great. That went through pretty easily. Reserve matters, had a little bit of issue over apparently trees presenting a slip hazard one day, but we eventually got there with our breed tree. The main issue came with the drainage, so the surface water drainage on this site. It took 20 months to discharge that condition. In that time, we couldn't really do anything, because some conditions you might start on site without discharge, but drainage is so important that you need it, and it's so early on. As you can see in the construction, that's what's going in first. We had to have the discharged, and without it, we were essentially sat somewhat twiddling our thumbs, which was very frustrating for us as we watched finance costs go up, build costs change left, right, centre, GDVs changing constantly. We're probably in for about £400,000 at this point across professional fees. The archaeological dig was, I think, about 60 grand. Different engagement fees with different banks. I think we've had 3 valuations at this point, so that's about £30,000. Yeah, I don't like to think the combined professional sums on this site, but we're excited to just get going. We're hoping for our first drawdown here in August, so each month is a month in lieu. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So the next couple of weeks, we're going to see really heavy groundworks going on. We've got perfect time of year for it, perfect ground conditions. So that's it for today. Short and sweet video, just to say we've broke ground. Exciting things are happening. The plan is, whether or not I keep to it, is to document the entire journey, give you as much detail as possible, the highs, the lows, the good things, the bad things, when things go wrong, which I'm sure they inevitably will. But yeah, so far that's the start we've made. Officially broke ground, which yeah, just didn't think we'd ever be here. So I'll see you in the next video as we document this journey.